Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Awesome. So I want to talk about Portal, kind of. It is my vision that I kind of came into the class and not really knowing what I would want to do, but I had a vision. About the future and technology. And so coming in and playing with technology, educating myself around a little bit more around the tools of technology. So I thought about it and I said, you know what? I want to build and design a future void of smartphones because I want to be human again. So I want to simplify your technology experience. So a little bit about me. Sorry, I am creative. And as you can see, I cannot clearly define myself by one word. I'm human. These are places that I've lived around the world. I think Albert Einstein and myself look alike sometimes. I'm an adventurer and I seek to take on challenges. And then when I'm not doing that, I'm creating, building, and I'm an IoT coder and product designer. So that's a little bit about me. Coming into the class, you know, I'm trying to think about what is inspiring, what innovations do we need? You know, what are those problems? How do we solve those problems with technology, right? And so I'm trying to imagine, and how do we continue to build? What is our vision for the city? You know, I love what Albuquerque is enabling us to do with technology. So getting a chance to do that, I started looking at how do I take this opportunity in this class to continue that vision. So I made a wearable device, as we can all see. I promise you, it took a really long time to build this simple device. But as I was looking at what I wanted to do, I wanted to build an ecosystem in this class project. How can I take my vision and implement it, right? So I took every single midterm project to kind of build an ecosystem, you know, and as I was discovering that, you know, I started, you know, I really want to play in that creative realm, but I started to see that there's other implications for this, and it's accessibility. Because of technology is sometimes closed to speak to each other, as much as we want to say that, you know, it's open. We look at people with disabilities that need more accessibility. And I think we can leverage technology to do that. Here's some of the sensors that I used. This is not me. So I used the NeoPixel touch sensor, accelerometer, my Bluetooth coming from my particle photon, and a vibrator. So what am I doing with this? Well, there's people that I know that have visibility disabilities or have a hard time seeing, you know, and so I started to wonder, how can I build smart home for them to navigate to their smart devices? Because sometimes they're struggling to find the light, struggling to find devices. So how can we use technology? Maybe we can use Bluetooth technology to achieve this. There was a lot of difficulties to achieve this. Looking at something simple actually became a lot more difficult with how do you communicate so many different devices just for somebody personal within a 2-week project? It became a lot more difficult than I imagined, but with the help of the class, with the help of our instructors, I really was able to at least create a test project. This is kind of how it works. It uses Bluetooth to navigate to smart devices using Bluetooth vibration sensors and NeoPixels. The vibration kind of helps navigate someone saying, I'm connected to a device, so let me move towards that device. The vibration allows you to kind of navigate. There's a couple of different things that I needed to figure out in this. Another aspect of the project is that it creates user base, like a user for your home, so it automatically knows what your needs are, and it can communicate that. It could turn on your home lights. It can interact with the doorbell when you first enter in. It knows who you are. It can measure impact to if you fall and you need people alerted to that. So as you can see here, there's some of my code, but right here you can see that I'm measuring impact. And I've also enabled a with a push sensor that if your impact is low, you can deactivate the medical emergency. Because I know, speaking to some of my peers, there's people that don't wear their medical devices because it's always alerted. And there's no way to say, hey, I'm okay. So I implemented that as well through an accelerometer. And that's kind of where we're at there. I asked somebody that is visibly impaired to demo my project, and she gladly said yes, even though she had to wear a lot of wires. And I'll kind of show you guys a little bit of what it looks like. This goes on the wrist, and then this kind of goes on the belt, and we'll see kind of how she navigated that.
/ visually impaired.
So I wanted to ask her opinion on how does my ideas compare to like.
Well, okay, so as you can see, I interviewed her and I asked her because I wanted to use case scenario of where am I with my technology? You know, where am I with my ideas? Yes, we're in prototyping, but how do I continue exploring this idea into the future? So I wanted to get kind of direction from somebody that would potentially use this. I would let you watch the rest of that interview, but there's probably a lot of bloopers. But I was really appreciative of her help and also JP, who's in the classroom that helped me create that video. Let's see, let me go back to my slide. So throughout my journey in a 10-week course, I asked myself, how do I maximize, how do I tell a story, right? So I built a product called Portal, right? Well, here's my power plant, smart device. Here's my doorbell. I have a name for it, vision-based. And then my wearable that's called the Air 2. So initially, I really wanted to create something outside of the box, you know, in the world of VR and creativity. But with a 10-week course, you really got to hone in on what you want to do, what you want to kind of create and produce. So, but with this, I do have in mind for people with low visibility that find it difficult to find their way around their home. We have created a navigation and safety wearable because we need things that are more customizable for their needs. Here's my contact information. Andres, Sebastian, Cordova sounds like a Colombian telenovela, but I promise you I'm from New Mexico, which is its own telenovela. Here's my email, here's my website, Hackster and GitHub. And if you have any other questions, I'm not here to sell you myself, but a vision of what is capable with technology.